abandoned and left for dead, until the human revived her with a kiss. The kiss in the dust. She was dying beneath 2 suns. Her breath came shallow. Her skin, scaled and cracked, had begun to turn a dull gray, the color of her people's death. The last thing she remembered was the cold sting of betrayal, then being thrown into the wasteland without her armor, without her weapon, without honor. Zhareen of the Vorthai High Guard had fought for her people, and they left her behind. Now the sand swallowed her limbs. Her vision blurred, then tunneled, then began to fade, until something blocked the suns. A shadow, a shape, a face. Hey, are you alive? The voice was human. When she woke, she wasn't sure if she was still dying or already dead. A fire crackled beside her. A flask touched her lips. Easy, the voice said. You are almost gone. Don't move too fast. She drank. It burned, but it helped. Zhareen blinked until her eyes adjusted. A human crouched beside her. Male, wrapped in loose desert robes, goggles pushed up to his brow. He smelled of dust, oil, and old blood. Where? She rasped. 2 clicks from where I found you, he said. You were half buried and burning up. I dragged you to my hideout. Why? He shrugged. Didn't seem right to leave you. Zhareen stared at him. Her people feared humans, called them tricksters, scavengers, oath-breakers. But this one had rescued her. Who are you? She asked. Name's Coren, he said. Mechanic, salvager, ex-soldier if it matters. She closed her eyes. You should have let me die. He laughed. Sorry, not really my style. Over the next 2 days, Coren nursed her wounds, fed her broth, drenched her skin in cooling salve made from cactus and sunroot. She hated how weak she was, hated that he had seen her that way, but she hated the silence more. Why were you in the desert? He asked. Finally, she stared into the fire. Betrayed, left for dead, soldiers. She nodded once. He didn't press. That night, he repaired her armor in silence, humming a low song from his homeworld. Her people would have scorned it. She found it calming. I need to leave, she said on the 3rd day. You can't walk 2 steps. I must return. To what? The ones who toss you into sand. Her jaw clenched. It is not about them. It is about honor, justice, revenge, truth, she replied, her eyes flaring. He sighed. Well, in that case, he handed her a blade, hers. He had polished the handle, rewired the plasma core. It gleamed with purpose. She looked at him differently. Then, you repaired it? I fixed things. She hesitated, then said softly, I do not know how to thank you. You already did, he said with a wink. You're alive. That night, she dreamt of the council, her commander's sneer, the fabricated charges, how her sisters had turned their backs without question. She jolted awake, breath heaving. Coren was sitting near her. You were talking in your sleep, he said. I was reliving a lie, she muttered. You still planning to go back? Yes. He studied her. You'll be killed. Perhaps. He looked at her differently, then, and something in her chest shifted. Not weakness, not gratitude. Something warmer. The morning she stood again, Coren stood beside her. Take me with you, he said. I go to a palace of daggers. I've walked into worse. You owe me nothing. Maybe not, he said, but I don't leave people alone anymore. Zhareen stared at him and nodded once. They traveled under moonlight, hiding from heat and hunters. Zhareen leaned on him at times. He never complained. When she stumbled, he caught her. When her rage flared, he stood steady. You trust easily, she said once. I don't, he replied. I just know you're not finished yet. When they reached the edge of the Capitol Ridge, Zhareen went still. There it was, the silver spires, the blood towers, the gate she once swore to defend. She could feel the sting of old wounds. "You don't have to go in alone," Coren offered. "I do." "Then take this." He handed her a small device. "Emergency flare. Use it if you need help. You think you could save me?" He smiled. "You save yourself. I just gave you water." She hesitated. Then, for the first time, her hand touched his. "Thank you, Coren." He squeezed gently. "Come back alive." She walked through the gates in silence. Some recognized her. Most turned away, but she didn't flinch. She stormed the command hall before anyone could bar her. Her former commander stood up in shock. "You!" "I live," she said, "and I returned not for vengeance, but for truth." The court watched as she exposed the false reports, the doctor files, names, codes, access logs. Coren had helped gather them from the wreckage of her downed patrol drone. There was no denying it. The lies shattered like glass. Her betrayers were silenced. But no apology came, only cold ceremony, and a bitter reinstatement. That night, she stood on the palace balcony, staring at the stars. When footsteps came behind her, she turned and saw him. "Coren." She blinked. You didn't use the flare," he said. "So, I figured that meant you made it." "I did." He looked at her. "And now what?" She was quiet, then said softly, "They offer me command again." "You don't sound excited." "Because I do not wish to stay." He raised a brow. "Then don't. I have nowhere else." "You have me?" She turned, and for the first time since her exile, Zhareen smiled. "Then perhaps I have everything." The stars stretched far beyond the palace, far beyond the desert, beyond war and pride. She stepped forward, looked up at him. "There's one thing I owe you still," she said. "What's that?" Zhareen leaned in and kissed him. A warrior's kiss. Not shy, not unsure, but filled with a fierce, blooming fire. He blinked. "Was that your way of saying thanks?" "No," she whispered. That was the beginning. And hand in hand, they walked away from the towers of betrayal, towards something not written in any code of war.